Hi, Ghost Recaps here. Today we will be going through an sci-fi thriller movie from 2021. Named, Settlers. There will be spoilers ahead in this video, so chill out and enjoy. The small family of three consists of 9-year-old Remy, his mother Ilsa and his father Reza. The family lives on a shuttle colony on Mars, and all around them is a completely barren land with no life in sight. They have no contact with the Earth, and they have no neighbors either. Their small area, which no one else lives in, includes a poultry farm and a greenhouse garden, making them self-sufficient. Remy is curious about the outside world and often gazes with wonder at the distant mountains. However, his mother forbids any such activity. The family hopes that one day Martian society will also flourish like Earth's. One night, Reza reaches home late at night. He was very tired. Reza and Ilsa's secret conversation makes the girl suspicious that there are strangers around, but when Reza goes to wish his daughter a pleasant night, he tries to calm them down by saying that they are the only humans on the planet, but the girl is skeptical of his words. Remy wakes up one morning to find "Leave" written in red on the windows. Frightened by this scene, Ilsa runs out of the room in a panic, while Remy's father frantically grabs a rifle and starts searching for the criminals while guarding the shelter. In the distance, they hear the voices of 6 people, when in reality there are only 3. They are simply pretending, and Reza is unable to see them. Reza screams madly into the air and demands the invaders expose themselves. This makes little Remy even more frightened. He had never seen this form of his father before. She starts crying. The family monitors the criminals all day, but they don't see anyone. Remy is curious to know if the pigs in their barn are okay, so she goes out without telling her parents to see her pigs. She was happy to see that the pig is okay, but as soon as Ilsa realizes that Remy is missing, she storms out and demands Remy to return immediately. As soon as the criminals see Remy, they start running towards him to take him away, but just in time, Remy's father manages to kill one of them, while Ilsa stops the other one and stabs him to death. She then grabs Remy and runs inside. With Ilsa's help, Reza shoots at the last enemy, which hits him in the leg and wounds him. Reza heads to the mountainside to observe them, while Ilsa scavenges for weapons from the dead bandits. Remy notices that one of the 2 corpses is that of a young girl. Hiding in the house, they wait for Reza the whole night, fearing an untoward incident in which some stranger may have attacked him far away. He also hears the sound of a gunshot. It's morning, and Ilsa is still distraught. She wanders around the house with a knife. Then suddenly, he and Remy were surprised by an injured man standing in front of them. The mysterious ranger who appeared in their house was Jerry. He was the same man whom Reza had shot in the leg yesterday. His being here means that Reza is no more. He says that this house belonged to his parents. Jerry accuses Reza and Ilsa of murdering his parents and taking over their place. After many years and many hardships, he is able to get his home back and allows Ilsa and her daughter to stay on the condition that he will not harm them. However, Ilsa takes Remy in her arms and runs outside. Remy is horrified. With tears in her eyes, she begs Ilsa to leave this place, but Ilsa has other plans. Shortly after Jerry becomes careless, Ilsa sneaks in and tries to attack him in the kitchen. She manages to stab him in the leg, but it is in vain. Jerry pulls a rifle to his head, but surprisingly, Jerry does not kill him and remains calm. He asks her to give him 30 days leave from assassination attempts, as he has big plans for the station. The only condition Ilsa asks of him is a proper burial for Reza, which explains her death. After Reza is buried, they begin living with the mysterious man, who still suspects Ilsa and her daughter. Remy asks Ilsa to leave the place, but she again refuses. To him, external threats are bigger than Jerry's. Remy keeps an eye on the man, who has a vast array of weapons, and when he has the opportunity to secretly look at her things, he finds a picture of a woman, the same woman whom his mother killed yesterday to protect him. The mother-daughter duo begins counting down the promised 30 days, with Remy marking each day on a dusty window. Ilsa does general household chores while Jerry gets busy fixing the base. Ilsa retrieves a pet-like robot from the storeroom, giving Remy a good friend, whom she calls Steve. After dinner, the man introduces himself as Jerry to Ilsa and begins a conversation to establish trust. Ilsa eventually confesses that she did not kill Jerry's mother. When they reached here, she was already dead. They were residents of Earth. As soon as they entered the atmosphere of Mars, their ship was shot down, and their transportation system broke down. Jerry's father took them in, but when he learned about Ilsa's pregnancy and their Earth connection, they pointed a gun at him. In self-defense, she slit his throat and started living under the same roof. There is tension on the base every day, even though they are no longer trying to attack each other. Gradually, a physical attraction develops between Ilsa and Jerry, which Remy notices. Their relationship deeply affects Remy, who still misses her father and sees it as a betrayal. Remy is forced to leave the station because of her mother's affair. She packs her bags and leaves without thinking about where she is going. She crosses the rocky terrain, But it doesn't take long before she sees her reflection in the air. It turns out that the atmosphere in their colony is maintained artificially, as the entire colony is covered with a giant glass sphere. As Remy steps forward to touch the transparent wall, her hope for freedom fades, and she breaks into tears. After a while, a giant metal door catches her eyes. Not knowing what he will find there, Remy enters, and after a few meters inside, the door closes. She moves on with the help of a torch ball, but when a light appears in the distance at the end of the tunnel, Remy faints due to the pressure and lack of oxygen. Luckily, the next morning, Remy wakes up in her bed. It appears that Jerry went and saved her. Jerry and Remy talk, and he tells her that there is nothing beyond the barrier but rocks and dust. The artificial environment that has been created is leaking into space, and the sooner she accepts this, the better it will be for her. The next day, Jerry finds a guitar and asks Ilsa to play a song. Ilsa sings the same song she used to sing with her family. This was proof that Ilsa accepted Jerry as a member of the family. Mary is very sad to see this and runs away to the storeroom. When Ilsa tries to console him, he tells her that he hates her. In the kitchen, Jerry leaves his gun, giving Ilsa the opportunity to turn against him. She points the gun at Jerry and, without wasting much time, pulls the trigger with the intention of killing him. However, she later learns that there are no bullets in the gun. Ilsa runs from the kitchen to get a knife, and Jerry follows her to stop her. But the fight ends with Ilsa dead and Jerry injured. Panic consumes Remy, her worst nightmare has come true, and she is now left alone with the man who killed both her parents. Remy runs with all her might, but Jerry manages to catch up to her. He catches her and begs her to stop. Being a child, Remy has no choice but to stay. Ilsa is buried on the same mountain with Reza and the other humans, leaving only her daughter at the mercy of Jerry, who promises not to hurt her. Years pass, and Remy grows into a beautiful young girl, who remains sullen and almost completely silent around Jerry. By improving the central base and surrounding area, he now has more pigs, chickens, and vegetables than before. Jerry trusts him so much that he gives him a loaded gun. But even though Remy has no intention of taking revenge on Jerry for his parents, that doesn't mean she loves him. Even after all this time, he is wary of Jerry's true intentions. On the other hand, Jerry is trying his best to win her over. A young adult Remy meets Jerry in an artificial pond, and he urges her to try it out, leaving him alone. She dives for the first time, and they both drink in silence. Back home, Jerry gifts Remy a sketch of Ilsa. Seeing this, Remy becomes emotional and starts crying. However, he takes advantage of the situation and kisses her, causing her to reject him. It appears that Jerry's attitude towards Remy has changed. He no longer sees her as a child, so his sinister intentions begin to deteriorate. The next day, Jerry tells Remy that they are probably the last ones left and they need to mate for the future of the human race. But Remy flatly rejects the idea, regardless of whether he is the last human being in the universe. Remy could not emotionally afford to stay with her parents' murderer. To avoid this confrontation, Remy goes to sit outside with Steve, and after some deep thinking, she decides to leave this place forever. But unfortunately, Jerry finds out about it when he finds a mask in his room. He snatches the masks and starts out to destroy them. Remy tries to get her back so she can go out and see the truth for herself, even though Jerry tells her there's no one else there. The two struggle, and Jerry knocks her over and accidentally hits his head against a valve. Later, she was absolutely horrified to find that her hands were tied to the bed. Jerry's evil intentions are fully exposed, as he was on top of her. He tells her that there is still hope for humanity, but it has the opposite effect on the girl. The strange thing is that when he is trying to force himself on an innocent young girl, he still justifies it by calling it bullshit. As if I'm doing this for humanity's sake, Remy panics, beginning to scream in terror as the horrific reality of her situation begins to dawn on her. Before Jerry could proceed with this despicable act, Steve the robot arrives after hearing Remy's screams for help, and strikes Jerry in the neck with his power drilling attachment. Jerry retaliates by shooting Steve, effectively destroying him. Remy manages to free herself and grab her rifle. Jerry sees from the reflection in the window that the girl is aiming at him. Without wasting any time, Remy shoots Jerry in the head, and he dies. She buries Jerry's body in the mountain. After a while, Remy faces the reality that she is now truly alone. To overcome her loneliness, she sleeps near her parents' graves. Remy spends her days alone, watching animals, and making ends meet. She succeeds in reactivating her robot friend. She wants to venture out to explore the unknown world. Perhaps there is still hope to find others. Says a final goodbye to Steve. The machine grieves the loss of its friend, and Remy goes to the mountain one last time to bid farewell to all the dead. In her house, she sees Steve tending the pigs for the last time. Then she passes through the same cave, or rather tunnel she went through as a child, though now she is fully prepared. There is barren land outside as far as the eye can see. But Remy sets out to find the answer to the question. Is she alone in the vastness of the red planet? If she survives the obstacles, her journey will continue in the hope of meeting new people. Subscribe for more videos like this, turn on notifications, and leave a like to help the channel out. Have a nice day.